Hello planet and welcome to the part 3 of the NDA Tales with Lieutenant General Guru Bakshi, who belongs to the 9th course of the JSW, the Joint Services Wing, which later on converted into the National Defence Academy. And right now, if you've seen the part 1 and 2, you would have picked up so many facets of Lieutenant General Guru Bakshi's wonderful life that he lived, and the run in the army, which was magnificent, and then his life into the corporate sector as we call it today, and the way he ran various institutes and organizations, and he's still currently so active in giving back to the society in his own sweet way. And now we are joined by the lady of the house, Mrs. Suman Bakshi. Or when we discussed with Madam Suman Bakshi, I realized that we belong to the same zone of Delhi. So she belongs to Malka Ganj, and General and Mrs. Bakshi got married in Hansraj College. So many of you who would be listening to this, it would come as a revelation to you. And her parents, they held a very prominent photography shop in that area, which was called A.R. Dutt and Sons. I think I'm saying it right.
Yeah.
Wonderful. And I have my childhood memories of that area. I'm also born in that area. So I think, sir and ma'am, 1963 you came together. So ma'am, can you tell us how did this match happen with the young Captain Guru Bakshi at that time?
You see, we never met before marriage. We met only after marriage. I didn't know about anything about army, how to go out, how to get ready and all those things. I never knew all those things. Of course, slowly, gradually one picked up all these things. And NDA, he was posted in NDA, and I was very impressed with their environment and their messes and all those things. First time I saw all those things, because my parents were very orthodox. We never went out anywhere except with them only to Kashmir and all those things. And I was very impressed with the NDA, and after that, slowly, gradually, I just started picking up things and what happens in army, how to behave and all those things. And I don't know, after that, that was the first station. Then he got posted to that non-family station. I came back, stayed with my in-laws, and had good memories with them also. They were also very nice with me. And for 2 years, I stayed. After that, we got posted to which place? Now I forget also.
Sambar, no? After Sambar, we stayed together.
I'm jogging their memories to, you can imagine, to 65, 66. Ma'am.
Then you all came. You all came.
यूल कैंप तो बहुत बाद में गए हैं हम उससे पहले सांबा गए थे पहले.
So how was that, we all will remember, many people from the armed forces would definitely, and even now do, वो बहुत सारे, they collect a lot of wooden boxes as the life goes along. So how did it happen for you people, where the wooden boxes kept on adding in the life, then the children came in, वो कैसा रहा? How was that phase?
You see, when we got posted to NDA, we didn't have anything much. No, they gave us a D-type house. D-type house was 3-bedroom house. We didn't have the curtains that time to put. So we closed 2-room bedroom. We used only 1 bedroom, 1 drawing dining, and 1 kitchen. That's all.
Okay.
So that time it was a good memory for us.
I think any young lady who would be hearing this, she is now getting a lesson for life. But she would say that, madam, you were so lucky कि तब aeroplanes नहीं चलते थे cities के बीच में, train में आना पड़ता था. So the guests must have been all that more lesser.
बिल्कुल.
These days, when somebody gets married, I don't know, so many ladies must be confiding in you. Before they come in, there's a kind of a the barat which follows.
Bilkul. That is there. And after that, our son was born. We went to Samba, and Samba we stayed in a bacha.
Okay, in a bacha.
Bacha that time.
Sir, would you like to elaborate? What is a basha for many of our viewers may not be knowing what a basha is?
It's a thatched roof hut, and actually it's a kind of make-do accommodation in a way. And when you are keen to stay together, anything would do, as long as you're together as a family.
No, we made adjustment at that time, and after that, we somehow God has been very kind. We have been getting good postings. We went to Yol. That was one of the best station. Yol was one of the best station, and
And then you have to move from there.
all good station, in fact, I'll say. And of course, wooden boxes always, we have been carrying them in trains also. And
So was there any instance ever where you felt ki, why did I get married to an army officer? Or was there an instant where you could tell your friends from your school, your college days, I am so honored to be wife of an army officer?
in fact, one of my friend, बचपन की मेरी एक दोस्त है, she got very, in fact,
Jealous, envious.
हाँ कि but she said कि आप कैसे वहाँ पे एडजस्ट करोगे, आप नहीं कर सकते आर्मी में, बिकॉज हम बिजनेस फैमिली से बिलोंग करते हैं, वहाँ कैसे एडजस्ट करोगे. When she saw everything, she really got jealous of me. So, somehow one keeps on carrying everything, and when we were in Mao, we got posted in Mao, and it was a good experience. We stayed there in a very bad, I should say, hut. That was also hut when we stayed there.
Okay. I know many people from Mao would be watching this now, and we are very
that
similar.
time it was called क्या था नाम उसका?
Karbala.
Karbala. We stayed in Karbala.
Temporary
accommodation with leaking all the time in rain, and with 2-3 rooms there, very small rooms. One room was stacked with our boxes. And 2 rooms with bedrooms, very small bedrooms. There we used to entertain everybody. Parents आ गए, sister brother आ गए, lunch करना है, किसी को dinner पे बुलाना है तो भी वहीं पे करते थे. Everything we used to do it there. And the kitchen was far away. बारिश होती थी तो सिर पे छाता लेके किचन में जाते थे, फिर वहाँ से आते थे, फिर सब्जी लेके वहाँ से आ रहे हैं. So all those things were there. It is a good experience for us.
There used to be very good, even of course now, the good traditions of the armed forces were that, the youngsters who are bachelors actually, they can come to anyone's house and demand the lady for, whatever meal is being cooked in the house, they would like to have a share of that. And I think that brings a lot of bonhomie into the entire scheme of things. You heard Lieutenant General Guru Bakshi so fondly remembering his first CO, in 14 Kumaon, then Colonel Rana, who rose to become the army chief. This is that tradition which this couple epitomizes. The way the living conditions were so tough, but still they grew a family, and the family grew into a substantial part of their own life. And today, when they look back, when they look at their children, the way they have done. So, sir, anything about your children?
Yeah, actually, first before that, let me say, elaborate a bit. You see, the point is, ours were days, unlike today, when there is so much of freedom and dependence on the children choosing themselves, and also getting to know each other much before the marriage, at will. Also, the time when I was called, I was just told somebody will write a letter to you, and when they write, you go. I was in Kashmir, and they all came to Srinagar. So I got a letter from my father-in-law to be that we want to meet you. So I went at the address given because my father had instructed me. So I went along, and after a while, after first 10 minutes, I sat with my father-in-law and mother-in-law to be. They chatted with me. I presume, looking at me, whatever they talked, they said, okay, ho gaya hai, bula lo. So then said, the signal was sent, and both my wife and her sister, both about the same age, little difference, 1 year, they walked in. And like a good young officer, I got up, namaste, and they also did, and they sat down on a other side, and I sat down also. None of us looked at each other, neither the girl nor I. Obviously, it was not a done thing, unlike what happened now. Anyway, so when this happened, when we went back, then my father asked me, "Have you seen? Okay?" I said, "Seen what?" He says, "The girl you met." I said, "You don't know. Who are you meaning? I had a just fleeting glance, and that's about all. And she meets me now, I won't recognize." So she didn't even know that the marriage is the point. So those were the circumstances. And as she rightly says, it was only after the marriage, after a period of almost a year, because this happened in June 62, and 63 June we got married. And that is the time when we met each other and saw each other. But we did not know and we could not recognize. So that is how the marriages took place on those days. One. Second, I would give a lot of compliment because, as I was mentioning, she came from a business family, and the environment in her home vis-a-vis what prevailed in the armed forces was totally different. But amazingly, she was very quick and very good in adjusting. Tremendously. I mean, I think it's full marks to her. She adjusted to the rough and tumble. She, even 3 months course, I was in 65 operation mood, I have to go with JC. I just wrote her, we are going together. Accommodation ho gaya Maung mein. And she was ready with the box. And she had her load tables all set out and all that, and very, very organized. And I think I've had a very comfortable life, and I owe it to her. There is no doubt about it. Because she, the way she managed the home, out of the world. Nobody could have done it better. That I'm sure.
I think it is not one-sided, it is from both sides. And when he was doing JC course, I didn't know that कितना वो first कौन होता है, second कैसे होता है. And when the course finished, रात को 11 बजे किसी ने हमारे पूरे JC course जहाँ हम रह रहे थे मऊ में, they came and गुरु मैंने कहा क्या हो गया, कुछ something must have happened. उन्होंने दरवाज़ा खोला, I was in my nightie, he was in night suit. They said, do you know, हमें मिठाई खिलाओ, तुम फर्स्ट आए हो उस कोर्स में. I was shocked.
I think, and to tell a story, one day I came from the classes and she was wearing my SD. Badly headed bad karke. And of course, it was nice to see her in SD at home. So I think these funny things happen when you do these things. We enjoyed ourselves, undoubtedly. And the first child actually came to us when I was in Kashmir, in 65 operations, and then after JC course. And then he came along, I mean, the son came along, and there were no communication, there were no mobile, there were no satellite telephones also, and as a consequence, I was dying to know, and then with great difficulty, 4 exchanges en route, I got a call through somebody's help. And when I spoke to my father, he said, haven't you got the telegram? I said, which telegram? So no telegram had reached. So as a consequence, he said, congratulations, you got a son. So I said, all right. So that is how we got to know. I think life, when we look back, very interesting. Very interesting. And I think, as she has put it rightly, when somebody can fondly recall his past years, the lady he has been lucky to marry has a big hand. There is no doubt about it. And because a person who normally concentrates on the profession, keeps working day and night, and as they normally say, Fauji's usually say, my first marriage is to army. You are my second wife. So that kind of a stance, they do get neglected at times, and the fact that they don't mind, it is their greatness. And therefore, I think I owe a great amount to her, both by way of the comfort she's given to me and the management that she always made for me to continue working. So very
It's
great.
from both sides. Never one side. It is never one side. It is both sides.
I think we will take the opportunity to salute all the great ladies who have actually become part of, many men who go on to serve India and the Indian Armed Forces, because nothing is actually possible, without the contribution of these young ladies who actually come into our lives. And I saw a book, when I was a very young naval officer, we saw a book, Welcome Young Lady. And that book was specifically written to imbibe those values and traditions. And even today, when our wives look back, fairly, we have also advanced fairly in our lives. When our ladies actually look back, and when you look back, I think, 60 years or, something of that nature, it's not a mean time. And the way things have progressed, the way things have changed, the way the new generation is coming up. But the ethos, the traditions, the values, I think they do remain the same. And that is why, me and General Guru Bakshi, we are separated by, 71 courses of the National Defence Academy.
Yeah.
71 is like, if I take a flat this thing, it is 35.5 years. 35 and a half years means he would have been 35 plus when I was just coming into this world. So you can imagine, and today we both are sitting together, discussing many things. So, sir, what would be that one message that you would like to give to the Indian Armed Forces through, this 3-part series that we have recorded with you?
About marriage life? Or
No, about
the Indian
to the Indian Armed Forces.
Right.
Like,
Let me state. I think I would like to make one big point. Anyone, and much more so the people who choose services as a profession, need to understand the Chatwood Court credo, which has a tremendous meaning, and that credo is applicable to everybody, in fact, in services, not in services, outside also. It says that your country comes first, always and every time. Whatever you do, in whatever manner, in whichever field, your first consideration should be, am I doing something which is in the best interest of the country? That is number one. And then it goes on that the next who come for care and comfort are the people who depend upon you and are working for you, whether at home or in the workplace. It is your responsibility that they are made comfortable and they are treated well. And last is your own ease and comfort. That is what the credo says. That cannot be the priority. I think this is the finest thing. And let me also tell you, there are maybe a few leaders in other spheres also who also adopt this. They don't do a thing which they think is not in the best interest of the country. They will never do a thing. Others do, some do, but the point is, we in the uniform must remember this. And if I may say, even the veterans must remember this. Because even when we leave the uniform, this credo continues to have a meaning. The habits and the nuances that you develop while living a life do not end with the service being over. You shedding your uniform. They should be part of your being because they are good things to be done. That is one. And the second thing which I want to say is, which is the difference from my days and now. I recall that in my days it was a sin to be questioning a mess bill, even seeing it for that matter.
Yeah.
You believe it,
Yes.
and you pay it. You questioning the pay slip that came from CTA, believe it that they have done whatever they are right, unless there is one grave error. You never questioned it. Anyone who did these things was looked down upon, and he was told, sorry, don't do it. We are not money minded. Money is not our God. And I think we were at a pedestal because of this. Our conduct was much higher standard because of these two things. And now today, unfortunately, I find a decline in certain things. And I would recommend, not essentially in those in uniform, it is applied to everybody. Once you have been part of this organization, everyone has a responsibility to retain the values that you learned and you lived by. They are relevant till we demit from this earth. They do not go away. So my recommendation is, people in uniform are doing very well. And these days social media is very active. Be very careful for veterans. Do not go about criticizing and finding faults. It's so easy to do because we do not have the full picture in front of us. Those who are doing work, they are doing as well, if not better, as we did in our times. We have no right to question them, and we should not do it this thing, and more so on a public platform. You see, I telling somebody I have this doubt very politely is a different matter. But to putting it on a public platform for everyone to watch and see is wrong. So I think we need to control ourselves in this regard. This is my message.
Marvelous, sir. I think I've had a great honor to record these 3 sessions with Lieutenant General Guru Bakshi and joined in the last part by Madam Suman Bakshi. Sir, if I can shake your hand, and a firm handshake the General has got at the age of 87. I wish we all lived to that age. But you must remember, you have to laugh and smile like him.
That is one more question he asked me, if not here. He said, how is it that you keep laughing? I want to just make a point. When I got commissioned, I did not know, but I was told after that there's something very good about you. I said, what is that? He says, when you salute, somebody salutes, boy salutes, you salute and smile. When we talk, you smile. He said, oh, I did not know it was happening, but it was happening. And second thing is, what happens to you is not within your control in life. But how you relate to it is totally your call.
Yeah.
So look at things positively. Even the worst things have some positive angles. Look at things positively for your own sake. You're doing no favor to anybody else. So be happy, be smiling, and do laugh. Thank you.
Wonderful. So before we close, what we want to tell you is that if you really like these video series that we are trying to do with our very, very venerable seniors and veterans, do like, do share, and do subscribe so that whenever we record any new episode, it will come to you. And you are in for some pleasant surprise in the month of April. We would be doing some wonderful interviews as we cross the seas, and we would try to bring you some more, of the kind of wonderful lives that we have been able to show you. Yesterday you saw the Lieutenant General D.V. Kalra from Fox 5th Course, JSW 5th Force, and today from the JSW's 9th Course. And when I was a cadet in the NDA, my commandant was from the 1st course of the JSW, Air Marshal Didar Singh Sabiki. And we have not forgotten his first line when he ever used to get onto the stage was, "The world scenario is changing." Those words still ring in my ears. The world scenario is changing. Believe you me, the world scenario has not stopped changing. And he was so right in drilling those words into the mind of those young cadets. Many of them are now serving 3-star generals, 2-star generals, 1-star brigadiers. I think that's the amazing part of this wonderful connect that we have been able to establish today. A pre-partition product, and the lady who was just born immediately after partition, and the way they came together when Delhi was, a kind of a barren city where a couple of DTC buses used to run. The traffic was not that much. Noida never existed.
Yeah.
Today it exists. Imagine the transition which these people have seen. If you ever would like to get in touch with them, I'll try to put the link, in this video. Definitely you must call Lieutenant General Guru Bakshi on his mobile. He'll be very happy to take your call and take you through that grind of life which actually troubles you. Believe you me, these are the people who lived without a social media or without a smartphone, but they lived their lives and they are happy about it. So kudos to you, sir, and kudos to you, ma'am.
Thank you.
What an honor.
Thank you very much.
We have a great guy in Arun Jyoti, who's a gift of God to Fox Squadron. and what can't he think of? And he comes out with brightest ideas, and again and again. Thank you, Arun.
Thank you so much, sir. Wonderful. Thank you, planet, for watching this. तो मैम आप ये बताइए, आपकी मलकागंज की सबसे अच्छी मेमोरी क्या है, जो आपका बचपन था मलकागंज में?
In fact, I got married very early at the age of 19. And our house was opposite Hansraj College.
Oh.
Ours was the only marriage which took place in Hansraj College,
Wonderful.
inside Hansraj College. After that, they stopped.
कुछ गदर हुआ था कि उसके बाद उन्होंने शादी?
नहीं, they thought कि शादी के लिए कॉलेज ठीक है.
Yeah, very nice.
So